My name is Tran. I'm working in query performance at InfluxData.
My name is Andrew Lamb. I'm working on query processing at InfluxData. So as I understand the history of InfluxDB 3.0, right, was Paul's brainchild, and I think what happened was InfluxDB 1 and 2 were a classic example of like how to implement enterprise software correctly, which is you got a first version out, you set the architecture, and then you incrementally enhance it and improve it over time. And I think as we talk about software maturity, but at some point the software is pretty mature. It means it does lots of valuable things, but making fundamental changes to the architecture is very hard. And so at some point I think you have to choose to rewrite it.
Yes, and I found that when we reroll the version 3, we have a choice to choose a different technology. For example, what I saw is we chose column sort to have the data compressed better to support analytics query, and then we chose the bucket file to actually store that data into a file that compressed very well. And then we also chose data fusion, that the query engine that already built a lot of things with SQL support for us, so we don't have to rewrite everything. And as a part of that, the Apache Arrow helped us to store the column sort format in memory.
Yep.
So that's the technologies that we choose without the need to reinvent everything.
Software startups typically don't get the luxury to rewrite their product. Part of how startups work is you're often like a single product company, and then it either works or it doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, you go join another startup is often how it works. So I think Influx is somewhat unique in that it had a successful V1 product, and I think due to Paul's vision, he very much was able to thread the needle of have an existing product, but want to make major changes and figured out a way how to do it without requiring a whole new company, basically.
Yes. I also found that when we reroll the version 3, we have a pressure that we need to ship very soon. However, we also choose that let us take time to do it right, and we take more time to do it. But also, after a while, we decided it's time to ship. We cannot just do it forever because it's never done.
That's right.
It's never perfect. So then we decided now it's time to ship. In the meantime, many customers are waiting to be our alpha customers and very happy to try our products without thinking it could be perfect.
Yeah, and I think there's a really fine line there. Some engineers, if left to their own devices, will sit there and try to improve something indefinitely. And then I think you have to be careful about it. You can't afford to do indefinite improvements, but also you can't just throw something out that's totally unready. So I think finding the right line, knowing when it's good enough, and then pushing engineers, especially if you ask engineers if it's ready, they're always going to say no. But knowing when to push, I think, is a very valuable skill, and I think the Influx management team did a good job. Paul especially was, pushed, a little uncomfortable, didn't cause giant chaos, but it's always a little uncomfortable when you put something out for the first time, but it's part of making software.
Exactly, yeah. And I found it's very related to this topic is when the customer say, oh, my query works, but it's not fast enough. So they say, oh, I have 10 queries, but can you please focus to improve this one specific query? Then now we know what is a priority, and we focus on improving that. And after a couple of weeks, we got a query 100 times faster. Yeah. And we're happy, and customers are very happy that we didn't wait for that long.
I think that's an excellent example where at some point in the development of InfluxDB 3, we'd gotten to the point where there's like 100 different things we could improve, and it was not clear which one we should spend our time improving. If you ever get to that point in your software project, that means it's time to show it to customers, and then they'll tell you exactly what it needs, right? I think we did, and then we got told exactly what we need, and now we have a very clear understanding of what the priority is. Software development is always a function of iteration, and sometimes that iteration just needs a rewrite.
Eventually, you just have to decide to ship your product, even though it's not perfect. Hopefully, this conversation provides you some insight about our software building process.
Trying out the software we built using InfluxDB 3.0.